Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you're listening from. This is Ken Youth's Exploration, your topic in the podcast. I am Dr. Ken Youth White. We're going to be discussing in this episode Pan-Africanism. We're going to be looking at this back to Africa challenges. Some persons might not believe that it's possible and what the concept is really about. But a Pan-Africanist is my guest today, and we are going to be having a conversation as it relates to Pan Africanism. And he will be joining us soon just to talk about this concept of Pan Africanism and how we basically can understand as black people, as as Africans, so to speak, how to embrace the concept of back to Africa and that Africa belongs to Africans. I like to let into the studio Dave Wright to have that discussion. Dave, how you doing, man?
I'm not doing bad at all. I'm not doing bad. It's good to join the program.
Thank you, man. Welcome to Canute's Exploration, your topic in a podcast. Where you from? Where you shouting out from?
I'm shouting from Jamaica,
Cool,
Kingston,
cool.
Jamaica.
Cool, that island in the Caribbean. I have Jamaican audience. You all know, right? You hear the accent, and I'm reaching out to you from Florida, Miramar, Florida, and we are connected with Dave Wright to talk about Pan Africanism. But Dave, tell me this thing about Pan Africanism. What is Pan African? What is Pan Africanism?
Okay, well, let me tell you. Firstly, Pan-Africanism it's a worldwide intellectual movement that aims to encourage and strengthen bonds of solidarity of all African descendants.
Okay, so it's about bringing African descendants together, strengthen the support, making them believe that hey, we are a team. We need to work together.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's important as Africans. But who are Africans really? Are Africans those who are born in Africa? Who are Africans?
Well, we as black people, what as they have a saying that once you're a black man, you have this artist sing this song, Peter Touch. Whether you're wherever you're from, as long as you're a black man, you're an African.
Yeah, I love
So
the
we
song.
are, yes, we are all from the Caribbean. We are black people and we are African descendants. So we maintain our heritage as an African.
Yeah, Peter Touch. As long as you're a black man, you're an African. Yeah, I know.
True,
I know
true,
the
true
song.
word,
I know the
true,
song. I know the
true
song.
word.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but tell me, I think it was Marcus Garvey who have said that Africa belongs to Africans. What is he saying? Talk to me about that.
Yes, well, when Marcus Garvey said Africa is for African, I embrace that 100% because when he used that terminology, meaning that black man all over the world, their home is in Africa. So basically, with us living in the Western world here, who was brought from Africa as slaves, basically, we should have some tight notch with our brothers and sisters that were remained in Africa. So our whole thing of Pan-Africanism is to send an awareness to our brothers and sisters of unifying. Let's trade together. Let's build together as as a nation.
Okay, so the youngster listening to us today, he would be saying, "Okay, I'm from America. I am called an Afro American." The Jamaican, those persons in the Caribbean, those young youths in the Caribbean, and they're saying to themselves, "What is Mr. Wright talking about? What is Dr. White talking about? I am not an African." How would you advise them? What would you say to them?
go back to their history, see where they're coming from. We were not, you see, Jamaica is of the West Indies.
Yeah.
West Indies, which we are talking, that is, and it's telling you about the Indians. That's why we're living in the West Indies. But at the same time, we're African. We can throw away our heritage, our ancestral heritage. We can
Yeah.
just forget that. But because of what we were taught and how we were brought up that we are Jamaicans. Yes, we are Jamaicans, but we are from an African descendant, and we
Okay.
have to embrace our home of origin.
Yeah, yeah, sounds good. This is Canute Exploration, your topic in the podcast. I'm Dr. Canute White, talking to Dave Wright. Dave, there's another name that you have embraced. What is that name? And tell us about that name. What's the origin?
Okay, I choose this name Abiola X. I prefer to be called because after the slavery, we were brought in this island, and we were by our slaves' master name. For whomsoever bought these slaves, we were named of the slave masters. So I, in turn, decided that, hey, to get close, I feel much closer to my people by at least having some African within me. So I choose the name Abiola and
Okay.
prefer to be called Abiola.
Abiola. Ah, that's cool. I love the name. It's interesting though, Dave. Abiola. I will interchange. I it's interesting. The African music, the African dance. It's so exciting. It's such a great feeling to hear the African music, to see the African culture. And it's a good thing to embrace. But we as Africans, as you are saying, as the whole Pan-Africanism embrace, right? We as Africans, we're not embracing the culture of Africa. What happened there? Why is that so? How can we start to embrace it?
That's where we lost, That's where we lost our identity. We lost everything there is because we we step away from our culture, and we are embracing all other culture around us, but we denounce our culture. If you notice in the West here from Africa, it's only like I would say 80 which are embracing the African culture, which I think it is very, very, very important for us to get back to our culture, because once we get back to our culture, we will know who we are as a set of people, and there will be a change among my brothers and sisters in terms of the way how we relate to each other. So it is very, very much important, and we have lost. Once we move away, shift away from this culture,
Yeah.
we lost our way because we are embracing every other nation's culture except our own.
How extensive is Pan-Africanism in Jamaica?
I would say there is a sense of awareness. There's a sense of awareness among the younger generation in terms of this Pan-African movements, but basically, as you know, that there has been a wide gap. Jamaica, we have lost all our culture from Africanism, and we have adopted new culture. But since the past 2 years, for the past 2 years, there has been an awareness because Marcus Garvey is the head of the Pan African movements.
Yeah.
He started out the Pan African movements, and basically the UNIA, which we would see to be the umbrella of all Pan African movement. The UNIA, I don't see where they are really as effective as they should be. But as I'm saying that we just need to be more loyal and teaching the Marcus Garvey teaching
Yeah.
among the younger generation. And when we start teaching it among the younger generation, we'll find that everything just take time coming in place.
Yeah.
My Pan-African movement that has evolved 2 years ago, the Black Imperial Global Revolutionary Movement, it's not to go against any Pan-African movement anywhere. I strongly embraced and have great respect for the UNIA, and we are willing to work with the UNIA in order to achieve the objective of Pan Africans, because every Pan Africans, whether home or abroad, we are of one objective.
And you are the
So
president of your organization.
yes, I am the president of the Black Imperial Global Revolutionary Movement.
So when you say we, how many persons are involved in your organization? Tell me a bit about your organization.
I have over 500 people. When I said 500 people, I mean, first, most of my people are Africans. Most of my members are Africans. We're in Guyana, we're in Barbados, we're in Bahamas, we're in Haiti, we're in a few places, and we are strengthening up.
Oh, great, great,
We're
great.
getting more strength.
What is the aim of the organization?
Well, our organization are is to, as a Pan-African movement, is to stick to the objective of the Pan-African movement that aims to encourage and strengthen bonds of solidarity between all African descendants, our African descendants. So our aim is to have to see a United States of Africa. We strongly support the United States of Africa, and we support a united Caribbean, because we as a Caribbean, standing on our own, even though the Commonwealth has been formed, it has not been as effective as it should. We being tighter together, integrated together, it would build it would build the lifestyle of the Africans. It will build the lifestyle, and in order to be living a basic standard of life, our basic standard of life would have improved. We wouldn't be calling a place ghetto anymore. We wouldn't become, because you have, I don't really believe in ghetto. I believe in low income. We
Yeah,
have low income communities,
yeah,
and within these low income communities, because everybody can't live in a certain communities, but there will be pride, and people would be stemming for the highest. So based on what is happening right now, it's just to keep us down. But once we integrate as a Caribbean, having one president
yeah,
governing the Caribbean with the prime ministers, we start trading among each others, straight back to Africa, building more factories, which will create more employment. So the state will be able to achieve more. So the nation, our nation, the countries, then the countries come in, because I believe in building the people and let the people build the country. I don't embrace the system of building the country and the people can't partake in whatever you build. I say build the people and let the people build the country.
I like that, and that is
So I
important.
my
Yeah,
movement my movement strongly embrace the integrated Caribbean, as the former Eric Williams, the former Prime Minister of Trinidad. I think that was on his agendas in the 70s. But because of greed within the Caribbean, that I am better than you, that Trinidad is better than Jamaica, Jamaica is better than Barbados, and we are all one.
yeah,
We were all brought to the West as slaves, and put in and placed in other areas. So actually, my brothers are in Barbados, Bahamas, Haiti. We have families all around. So the Jamaicans are not better than the Trinidadians, and the Trinidadians are not better than the Jamaicans. We are
Yeah.
all great in whatever we do.
Yeah.
So we don't want to create a barrier there and saying that we are, and I think that was what break down the federation when it started in the 70s
Yeah.
by Dr. Eric Williams,
Yeah. Remember
the
Doctor.
former prime minister. Just like just like what happened to the prime minister Michael Manley with Jamaica, just as what happened to in Chile, just as what happened to most of the Caribbean islands that decided that we should work together as brothers. Not leaving out anyone because we all have to work together, but regardless of where we're from, we need to be working together, but we need to create a tighter link with our neighboring islands.
Yeah.
Haiti.
Something. Something. I decided that there. I have decided that there's a concept that I want to call the stratification of the inner city, of the ghetto, so to speak. Because if you look in Jamaica and anywhere around the world where you have ghetto projects, so to speak, there are sort of a different levels at different levels. You have a ghetto community that may be better than another ghetto community or looks better than another ghetto community. Why I'm saying this to you in terms of my concept of the stratification of the inner city, um, there if this back to Africa thing, this integration of the Caribbean thing, there will still be of different level, different stratifications. There will be some Africans who are far better than some in a particular geographical area, and so there will be a stratification of this African community.
Well, basically, you see, when you see within this so-called garrison today, the difference between those are, I look at it is that those that who were elected in order to represent such communities, they are of different influences and different tastes. And some people, because they allow the people in the so-called garrison today to be dependent on them, like for every 4 years election, so when it comes 3.5 years, we go around and we start giving out a little thing. Like what is happening now, you have a lot of bushing Christmas work giving out, and all of this happen. It just happened once a year. But for a leader, we have elected a leader to lead. And when I say to lead, to work for the people, because you become, uh, uh, you're an agent of the state, which meaning that you are working for the people of the community. And when
Yeah,
you're working for the people of the community, you have and you have to do what you're there to do. You're supposed to look within your community and say, listen, we need to create a community center. We need to have the children engage in certain areas, skill
right.
areas. You have to, you see, like, I'm not straying from the point.
Yeah,
Look in the garrison, we have so much churches. Why couldn't we have more skill centers teaching the young people a trade? Just
okay.
as much churches you have. We just, if we have these things, if the leaders that were elected to run in a community were trying to help uplift the people within the community or uplift the nation, it would be much better, because there shouldn't be a difference between um, any of these community. Reason being, we have a fixed basic wages. The
Yeah,
basic wages are supposed to subsidize for the basic standard of living. So the
yeah,
basic standard of living can't be above the basic wages.
yeah, yeah.
Once we find that the basic standard of living is is below the basic wages, we are going to have what we are having today.
So you're saying then, right, that if there's an integration of Africans, then all of what you have described would be a part of that integrated African society.
Definitely. Because one would have to work for their pay. Right now, a lot of these people are collecting pay under false pretend because what are they doing? I have been through many of the garrisons, the so called ghetto areas, and I don't see what is happening there. Why were the people elected them? Because they have an handful of people whom they single handedly picked and give these people multi Perkins would say scarce benefits
Yeah,
and spoils.
yeah,
And these people now are the one that suppress, they use these people to suppress the low income communities, suppress the poorer class of people.
I have a
That's the
question.
reason.
I have a question to ask you. Let me first say, rest in peace, Monty Perkins, former talk show host in Jamaica, a very eloquent and influential person. Look, your organization, it seems like it have this political aspect to it. Why I'm saying that? Because you sound very eloquent and sound like someone who love your country and have a plan for your country, have a vision, a great vision for your country. Is it that later on you might be looking to become what, a third party in Jamaica?
Well, the possibilities are endless, you know.
Yeah,
The possibilities are endless. We can, because in terms for us to have a better nation, we need patriotic, loyal, and patriotic people representing the people. And when people are not working, we get them out. I don't have to be a part of a third party if within the country we have the two party and whichever one are working for the interest of the country, not for personal interest, I will support. But I will not support a party that is just for political gains.
yeah,
Our two major political party here in Jamaica only working to be the best friend of, the Western,
elite. Yeah,
the United States, Canada, and Europe, these bigger countries. They are
right.
not working in order for to build the people of the country. They are as they have a thing what they say, they are building Jamaica.
Yeah,
But until they start talking about we are building the people of Jamaica in order for the Jamaican people to build the country, well, we'll be getting somewhere.
yeah. Let, let's let's
I
let's let's move out of the Jamaicanism for a while and back to the Pan Africanism. Look, is it that people are moving into Africa, even though Pan Africanism, as we have been discussing, this back to Africa concept is not necessarily going physically back to Africa. This whole, exodus into Africa, but embracing the concept, the culture, wherever you are, of Africa, Africanism. But people
yes.
are moving into Africa.
Well, that is good. That is good because we need people to get back to Africa, people with strong influences, people who are economically strong to go there and utilize what the resources of our country because it is not, I don't see it where we should allow the, I would say, the African enemies, the enemies of African to still be tilting our soil and taking out our gold and then giving us back paper or lending us paper.
You know,
Like,
I hear you saying, our. And that's cool. I love it. And it shows your passion as it relates to Pan Africanism, and that Africa belongs to us, right? Because I understand the concept of our descendant being shipped from Africa in this slave trade process, and basically it's ours, our foreparents, our descendants own that. So therefore, it's a legacy. So Africa is a legacy of black people.
Yes, yes, yes.
Like,
So I embrace people going back there to develop Africa, utilizing whatever resource there is, and spread it among the African communities like Haiti, Jamaica. Use those resources to help to strengthen this place so we can be moving instead of we rushing back and forth from US, because
yeah,
I am not against US because
yeah,
it's our brothers and sisters developed there also.
yeah,
But in terms of we talking about every minute, we are going to visit US or we're
yeah,
going to Canada. We,
yeah.
as much as so we speak of visiting, though, we should be speaking about we are going to visit Kenya. We're
Okay.
going to visit um, whichever countries
Yeah,
in Africa
yeah.
because it's our home.
But right, from Jamaica, I guess the flight to Africa is about how long? It's a long flight. So again, some persons might be might have a flight phobia and decide, let us go to the US or Canada, or perhaps England, because
I like
I
that.
suspect it's longer. Yeah,
I like what you said a while ago, and I'm just gonna cut it to you in a brief
yeah,
thing. Let me tell you, the other day there was a dust that blew from the Sahara
yeah.
desert,
Okay.
which reached Jamaica in a snap of the finger. Jamaica was covered with that dust, and not just
Yeah,
Jamaica, the
yeah,
Caribbean.
yeah.
So what this is showing us that the route that they plot for us to go to Africa is not necessarily the nearest route. There
Okay.
is a much shorter route to Africa. The same route that does blow from the Sahara to reach us and black up Jamaica with that dust, that pollution. That same route can be traveled to reach Africa. And that was within a few minutes.
Wow, I like that.
So the
And
route they are taking up. So,
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead,
so
go ahead.
basically, yeah, so basically the routes, once we integrate, we can always draw our geographical plan and say this route we are taking to Africa. We don't have to go through Europe, sit in Europe and wait how long and then move from Europe straight to Africa. No, you can travel straight from Barbados to Africa. A matter of fact, last year November, I think there was a flight
Oh yeah.
which leave from Nigeria straight to Jamaica and from Jamaica straight back to Nigeria. But I don't know what had happened since the COVID. I don't hear anything of that flight anymore.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's
One
nice.
straight flight.
Right. It's nice talking to you, though, Mr. Wright. It's very interesting, some of the things that you have said. Well, everything that you have said, but some are even more interested, and it's enlightened a number of us, my audience, those persons listening on their favorite podcast platform, those persons watching on YouTube. Can Youth Exploration, your topic in the podcast. It's really nice to have you. And the final word before you go.
Basically, what I would like your audience to know or to look into, let's unify. Let's all, as Black people, get together as one. Let's invest in our nation. Let's invest in our people. Once you are economically strong, let's build. Let's get in, build low income houses, get rid of this thing they call ghettos. Stop killing blacks. We need to stop killing our black brothers. The resource of any country, the best resource of any country, it's its people.
Love that.
And when we kill our people, how can we develop?
Love that.
So my black brothers, stop feeling black.
Such a good turn to to end that. I love that. I must thank you for coming on Can Youth Exploration, your topic in a podcast. Thank you for being here.
Okay, thank you, Mr. White.
Bye bye. So that was a Pan Africanist. You heard him. Very interesting conversation. And the Back to Africa concept, you would have understood that and many Africans, going into Africa, physically back into Africa. But my guest is saying that, hey, it's not only about physically going back and exodus into Africa, but it's about embracing the culture of Africa, the concept of Africa, um, embracing the legacy that our foreparents, the descendants of Africa, had left for us, and that's really the whole thing about back to Africa, back to African culture, back to African mindset, back to Africa. Um, the willingness to basically see Africa as belonging to black people, to us, wherever you are, and that's the concept of Pan-Africanism. I really enjoy this conversation, and I'm sure that you who are listening, enjoyed it as well. And share it, subscribe, tell your friends about it, rate the conversation, and listen to Can Youth Exploration, your topic in the podcast. Next time, we'll have another very interesting guest. And remember, we're still in a COVID pandemic, and do what you need to do. You know, wear your mask, social distance, and the vaccination. Yeah, I embrace it from my end. I have done my Pfizer. I'm not telling you to do it, but I'm encouraging you. Thank you for listening.